the Tattooed Madman Psycho Mike, welcoming you to this edition of my twisted world of Masters of Mayhem right here. Thank you very much for joining me, and you never know what you're going to find here when I'm on the air. Thank you very much for joining me. So on that note, I want you to sit back, rip the top off a cold one, roll up a fatty, and enjoy this edition of Psycho Mike's Twisted World of Masters of Mayhem.
And you're watching Psycho Mike kicking ass.
Big Cake the Mighty from Four, and you're watching Psycho Mike kicking ass on.
Well, I'm sitting here jamming with the kids from your bandits. And you're watching Psycho Mike kicking ass on Masters of Mayhem. Masters of Mayhem are in the house. The Masters of Mayhem. That's right. Professional wrestling at its best. Clown love. Any way you look at it, we're down with you because you're down with the clowns.
For now and forever.
This is Violent Deity Insane Clown
That's
Posse.
too dope, and when we're in Cleveland, that's all we watch, brother. We check out the Masters of Mayhem.
That's
Masters
right.
of Mayhem.
Professional wrestling at its best.
It's big
Masters
time.
of Mayhem,
Masters of
brother.
Mayhem,
You
brother.
better recognize Masters of Mayhem and Violent Deity. Stranglemania style, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Telling you, it is your main maniac, the Ghoul, and we're all gonna watch Psycho Mike beat the cheese whiz out of each and every opponent on the Masters of Mayhem Wrestling. Hey!
How you doing? Sherry, Sherry, the one and only Sister Sherry Martell. Cleveland, Ohio, the Masters of Mayhem Wrestling, the only professional wrestling that has been here in the last 5 years, where you ought to go now. Bye!
We're going to go watch Masters of Mayhem Wrestling.
Masters of Mayhem.
Where you ought to be.
Where you ought to be.
You're watching Masters of Mayhem.
Everybody stay tuned. You never know who you're going to see on Masters of Mayhem or what you're going to hear on MMA. Cleveland, it's the Tattooed Madman Psycho Mike, along with Sweet Destiny from Team Law.
Yo, Cleveland, Ohio. You're watching the Masters of Mayhem with Team Law.
Then alongside Sensational Summer.
Cleveland, what's happening? It's the Tattooed Madman Psycho Mike along with Team Law's Cat. Stay tuned, Cleveland. Thank you.
This thing's...
What's happening, Cleveland? It's the Tattooed Madman Psycho Mike here along with Team Law's Bobcat.
Pussy that fight. Don't forget you'll be seeing me down here in Cleveland in Madness Mayhem.
Cleveland! It's Tater! I'm
Big hair wrestling. You can't beat it with a stick. You can't whip it with a switch. Don't even try. You're gonna break it. Yeah!
Macho Man Randy Savage, and you are watching the Masters of Mayhem in Cleveland, Ohio. Oh, yeah, dig it.
hearing all the time. What? Hallelujah! Got a brand new dance! It's called a bird! Woo! The master! Let's break!
This is Orange Sheik. You are watching Master Maho Wrestling. Don't touch the
This is Typhoon the Natural Disaster, and you're watching Masters of Mayhem Wrestling.
Hey, this is the Tattooed Madman Psycho Mike with some wrestling fans.
exactly what Masters of Mayhem. We never, ever take our eyes off the Masters of Mayhem. Love you, baby. Yay!
Just what do people think of Masters of Mayhem Wrestling after just one viewing?
I like it.
And so will you. Check out Masters of Mayhem Wrestling, Music, and Chaos.
Stinky fucker. Check out Psycho Mike's Twisted World of Masters of Mayhem Underground TV.
Oh!
Son of a bitch. Are we on?
Of course we are.
It's time!
I want you to sit back, rip the top off a cold one, roll up a fatty, and enjoy this edition of Psycho Mike's Twisted World of Masters of Mayhem
Underground TV.
Whee! All highlights. So, sit back, rip the top off the floor, and enjoy this week's edition of Masters of Mayhem Wrestling. Oh, and by the way, Happy New Year!
Up into the ring in just a moment or two for more exciting fucking action.
This wrestler decided a special shocker was needed to speed his rise to the top. So he mastered the art of throwing fire and became a wrestling legend. Originally called the Sheik of Araby, he shortened it to the Sheik and became a multi-millionaire with his crazy wrestling style. His ring habits included biting, wide-eyed stares, and wild gyration. And fire throwing. Here, Seaman Thomas catches a firebolt in the face. Is a mat full of wrestling renegades the sports world will never see again in the same ring. It was the perfect matchup. On one team, Dick the Bruiser and the fabulous Bobo Brazil. Their opponents, Bobby Heenan, teaming with, believe it or not, the wild and crazy Sheik, famous for setting opponents ablaze or biting them into submission. Add to this volatile group the Sheik's infamous manager, Crybaby Creechman, and you have the potential for a major tag team blowout! Okay, fans, this is going to be a great one because this is the famous Bobo Brazil. There he is. The greatest, I really believe this, truly, the greatest black wrestler ever in the history of pro wrestling. And look at the size of that guy. Let me tell you, this guy was so big he defies description. I mean, this dude is so tall and rough and tough. You know, he always used to talk to me about that size. He says, you know, Bob, sometimes I tower over people and it bothers me. Look at this guy. There's the wild Sheik. You see the Sheik? He's just biting him. This is the fire thrower, the man that throws the fireballs, the flamethrower. Hey, and he jabs pins in the eyes of guys. jabbed our friend Bruno Sammartino in New York City, almost put his eye out. And there you see Crybaby Creechman off in the corner. That's the Sheik's manager. Hey, this was a wild night, fans. And I think you guessed it. Hey, what do you think? We're outdoors, right? That's right. We're outdoors. Where? Oh, you're right. Sox Park again. Why Sox Park? Because I want to tell you, when we had the biggie going, we brought them in from all over the country, all over the world. And we brought them into the central area, the wrestling capital of the world back in the 70s, right here in the middle of everything, right where it was all happening. And this is where you saw the great ones. A lot of our other matches took places in all parts and ports of the world. But this particular night, you see the fantastic Sheik of Araby. Oh, the Sheik of Araby. You gave your love to me. Yeah, baby, I remember that song. And the Sheik loved that song, by the way. But he shortened his name to the Sheik. And that's all right with us because I tell you, he was an original. The Sheik was an original. That's right. And you got to stay tuned because later on, we're going to maybe see him come back. We don't know for sure. But for sure, we're going to see one thing in this match. We're going to see a lot of action. Because here you see pretty boy Bobby Heenan in against one of the roughest, toughest guys in the history of the sport. And guess who that is? That's, hey, did you see you just taking that picture there? That's the Macho Man Savage when he was a kid. Shooting a picture there, right there at Sox Park. I just saw him over there in the corner. Yes, sirree, Bob. We got all the stars here. The stars come out at night, brother. All right, look it. And there's Dick the Bruiser putting the pressure on. He's putting the pressure on there. Put the pressure on Dick the Bruiser, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. And let me tell you, Bobo Brazil and Dick the Bruiser tagged up many times. Many times. And let me tell you something else. In 1960, guess who broke the racial barrier in Indiana? Where up until 1960, it was illegal for a white wrestler to wrestle a black wrestler. Hey, think about that. Who do you think broke the racial barrier there? You're right. Only one guess. Bobo Brazil. He went in against Hans Herman, a white wrestler. And I'll tell you, it's never been the same. And, you know, Dick the Bruiser is an old Hoosier from way back. Went to Purdue, so naturally, he loves Bobo Brazil. Bobo Brazil brought the great black athletes to Indiana. Ha! Ha! Figure that one out. There we go. Look at this. Look at the action here. The Sheik. The Sheik of Araby. Just call him the Sheik. Look at how he works over that guy. The Sheik, hey, was a big superstar. And one of his main towns was Detroit, Michigan. Detroit, Michigan. They hated the Sheik in Detroit. That's right. They must have burned his house down a couple of times. I don't really think so. I heard that rumor. Oh, they hated the Sheik because, hey, he was mean. He threw fire. He threw his thumbs. He used weapons to stab you with. He bit you. He'd bite your ear off if he could. Look, the referee's got to keep him from biting. He moves in. Now, that's not the way to be a referee. Moving in on a guy and saying, hey, buddy, don't bite. You know, hey, oh, what is this? What are we into here? Are we a bunch of animals? Wild dogs? We have to tell them not to bite? What kind of deal is this? The Sheik of Araby. I want to tell you, he was an original. He was different. And where do you think you're going to see the Sheik today? Why, only on the Hall of Fame Classics. And here, especially in this particular, this match, a legendary, a collector's item, a vintage copy, the original, the one that you got to put this in the vault tonight. When you go to bed, if you can't put it in a vault, bury it in your basement or dig a hole in the yard because you don't want anybody to grab this tape because you'll never get another copy of this. This is a once-in-a-lifetime. That's right. Look at Heenan going out of the ring. It's all happening here. Can you believe this action? Now they're taking pictures of him outside the ring. I'm going wild. I'm going crazy. Look at all those people there sitting there. We had the ring. I think we had the ring on home plate. I'm not sure. And Bruiser and Bobo are hitting a home run. And don't forget the rule, Sheik, at the big ballparks around the world. 3 strikes and you're out, Sheik. There's 1 strike. 1, that's 2 strikes. And here's 3 strikes. That's right, 3 cocoa butts. That's right, like a piece of cement hit you in the head. And you're down and out for the count, kid. You're down. Heenan's down. Fans, this is wild action here at the great ballpark, Comiskey Park in Chicago, and the Sheik is not giving up. He's back into the ring, and now it's Dick the Bruiser beating on Pretty Boy Bobby Heenan. Bobo Brazil is down. The Sheik's on top of him trying to bite him. What's going on here? He's like an animal. He's like a savage. He's out of control. The match is out of control. They're all out of control. We're out of control in Chicago. Hey, baby, here's Dick the Bruiser. And now, fans, we're in the dressing room. Oh, the scene, the terrible, terrible. Bobo's been hurt. He's been hurt in the eyes. And now we've got behind him a Korean wrestler who has been managing one of the greats in the match. And there we've got that dirty rat crybaby Creechman. Here comes the Sheik, and now you're going to see something. Oh, it's too horrible to watch. I don't even want to watch it. Sucking, eating blood, licking blood. What kind of animal is this? Sheik, you animal, you savage, you blood beast.
Who are you?
Seymour Smoke detector. And I see more smoke coming from that toaster.
Thanks for warning us, Seymour.
I hate smoke. So whenever I see it, I make this noise to warn you. Because where there's smoke, there may be fire.
Be cool about fire, safety.
Be cool.
Psycho Mike here, the tattooed madman. Stay tuned for more chaos. Oh yeah, I'm hated by many, loved by very few. Hey, this is the tattooed madman Psycho Mike. And if you don't want to get locked in a mental ward with me, you'll click like and hit subscribe now.
Oh yeah, I want you to stay sick, turn blue, scratch glass, climb walls, but most importantly, do what you can, don't get caught. And stay fucking crazy. Son of a bitch.